Saturday, a huge day, a monumental day in the world of mixed martial arts as the UFC rolls out its first female fight down in California. Chantel BT, a local MMA fighter. I would imagine that Saturday is going to be a big day for you and for fans of the sport, especially women that have never seen the sport opened up to them before.
For sure. It's definitely a first, and to see female MMA fighters coming through the UFC is amazing for us.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about, first of all, I think we have to look at the UFC in general. Mixed martial arts, for that matter, the fastest growing sport in the world, easily, over the last 20 years. Would you say, in this case, well, it's about time that women were featured on fight cards? Definitely.
It has been about time. I mean, you look at it, last year, Dana White did not want females in the UFC. A year later, the sport grows so much that we have Rousey fighting.
Okay, so this is Ronda Rousey, the clear favorite, obviously, taking on Liz Carmouche. As the story goes, there's not a whole lot of ladies that want to fight Rousey. Is this the deal? She's kind of a big deal when it comes to female fighters in the octagon?
Yeah, her skill level is right up there.
What is it about her fighting style that you think has elevated her so high above her peers?
I think her background in judo, going to the Olympics. She's been in the fighting scene for so long, and her training, her skill level is so far up there. That she's definitely a big challenger in the sport.
So Liz Carmouche, who will be taking on Rousey on Saturday down in California, apparently had to, I don't want to use the word beg, but she had to work to convince the UFC to let her in the octagon here. She's the clear underdog. What does she have to do if she wants to take this fight?
She worked hard to get this fight. I'll give her that. And what I think is, Carmouche has heart in the sport to challenge Rousey. I think that's dangerous for Rousey, but obviously my clear favorite is Rousey. I think Carmouche knew what she had to do to win this fight.
What does she have to do?
She's got to watch out for that armbar for sure. She's known for it.
Rousey's armbar, that's kind of her signature move, isn't it? I mean, this is how she's been taking down every fighter that she's faced. Yourself, as a mixed martial arts fighter, take us into the octagon. I guarantee you that right this moment, there's girls that are watching at home, their eyes are lighting up. They never realized that there's a chance they could get into mixed martial arts. They've seen barriers shattered in other sports. There's women's hockey. It's part of the mainstream now. As a woman, how does the MMA experience stack up to other athletic endeavors that you may have taken on through the course of your life?
I would say that the most challenging part is to find a pool of women that there is. I mean, men, they can find that fight for them. My background was boxing. There was no fight for me. You know, it takes that time to find that fight, and when you do, you got to prove yourself in that sport. And so I think females being in the octagon this weekend, and especially how I felt being in the octagon, there's something to prove. Definitely something to prove. To have an exciting fight, I think, is the best way that Carmouche and Rousey could make this happen.
Do you feel, and I know that you yourself as an AFC fighter, an AFC 17 Anarchy coming up March 23rd at the Shaw, do you feel like you have more supporters of women fighting in mixed martial arts, or do you feel like you have more critics? You talk about fighting to prove something. Would you say that those that are watching the fights for the most part are saying, yeah, you go girls, or do you think that there's some that are going, well, let's see if the girls can actually throw punches and take punches and fight like the guys?
A bit of both. I'd say more supporters, though.
Yeah.
When I got in the octagon, huge fan base for the female fighters. I mean, I had tons of support behind me. When we went up in this fight, it was amazing to hear that the crowd cheer for us, and there was an energy when we fought. So I think that's only going to grow the more and more we see female fighters in the octagon.
Well, hey, it is a fascinating time when it comes to the sport, not just talking about the inclusion of women, but just the success that the sport has seen and the way that this fan base has grown. We want to wish you all the best in your career. Look at this. The sky's the limit. Chantel BT is followable on Twitter. You can find her there. And, of course, under the Inside BT link at breakfasttelevision.ca, more information about everything you've just heard here. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to the big battle on Saturday. And then, of course, March 23rd locally at the Shaw. We'll be back with more BT News, Traffic, and Weather right after this.